Today, I'm going to show you how I use AI tools to create this amazing Afro anime short teaser. As you can see, we did a pretty good job. Before the end of this tutorial, I'll play the full video for us to see. So let's jump right in. I created this video using Flover AI. Full disclosure, Flover AI actually sponsored this video, but just like before, I will give you guys my genuine and honest feedback. Now, let's jump right into it. This is Flover AI. This is an aggregator site. So by aggregator site, what do I mean? It simply means that you can access most of the powerful A-list AI tools in the market. So if you twill this down, you realize you have Seedance here, we have Kling 3.0, we have Veo 3.1, 3.1 Fast, Gemini Omni Flash, and these are basically the tools you need for your AI filmmaking toolkit. For Flover, it's more of the automatic mode, which is the agentic workflow, but I'll show you why this is powerful in a little bit. When you come over to this side, what you need to do is to impute your basic idea. So for me, what was my idea? It's simple. My instruction is just pretty basic. I said create a cinematic Afro anime action espionage short film with premium high budget feel. Then the agent will analyze my input and then give me its own response. So let's see its response. It says, what a striking creative brief. An Afro anime action espionage short film with a premium cinematic feel is exactly the kind of project that deserves a structured production pipeline. Let me load the best fit skills for this. Now note this, once you input your instruction, this agent will go ahead and build a skill for it. And what is that skill? That skill is basically what the agent needs to execute the project. I wish this is how most of us develop a skill so fast, because for some of us, till today, we are still honing our skills, right? So let's look at that skill. So if I twill this down, it has given the skill a name. Let's look at something here. It says supports 2 initiation methods. User, which is me, the human being, can upload a script or have the agent write one based on the theme requirement provided. Then it says subsequent. Okay, before I dive into this, the agent is telling itself that there's a human being that has to give me a script for me to execute this project. That is one option. The other option is for me to come up with the script myself. So now I have to decide which one I want to go. But I prefer to give it my own story because, like I always say, your story will always be unique to you. It will not be AI generated. But it's a good thing that the agent knows that there are 2 ways for me to get the script, either from the human that is imputing this instruction or I generate it myself. So that is one. Then the next thing it will do is this. It says subsequently, videos are generated using Nano Banana plus Seedance 2.0. So the agent knows now that I have to use 2 models. As we all know, Nano Banana cannot generate video. So what it's saying is I will use Nano Banana to first generate my images, then use Seedance 2.0 to convert those images into videos. Smart, right? Interesting times. Okay, but note, later on you can, if you are not okay with the model that it picked, you can pick your own model. So if you don't want to use Nano Banana, you can use maybe GPT image or Nano Banana 2, because this one did not specify if it's Nano Banana 2 or Nano Banana Pro. It just said Nano Banana. But there's one thing that really struck me here. Let me see if I can see it. 4, it says if the user has already uploaded elements. Maybe let me pause here and explain this a little bit. What does it mean by elements? Now, I've come up with this idea, right? The idea for this story is there's a female character that infiltrates a specific building to take a specific device, but at the end of the day, something happens to her, which I don't want to say right now so that you get to watch it yourself. So what the agent is referring to as element is the image for the character that it will create is what it's referring to as element. So for instance, the building itself where the whole action will take place is also an element. The antagonist, right, is also an element. Can you see? So it has identified the key element, and why this element is very key is this. The agent also needs to know that from this story that I will get from this person, which of these elements needs to stay consistent, which is the same thing I would do if I was doing this the manual way. I will create a character sheet, because that character sheet is what I will impute into every time I want to generate a video so that the AI knows that this character has to stay consistent. So that's what it means by if the user has already uploaded elements, that if I upload my own elements, such as character images or reference character references, bind them directly as asset for the corresponding key elements. So if I upload my own reference images, it's going to take those reference images and bind them into this project. However, I'm not going to upload any reference images. So I want the agent to use the skill it has developed for this project to create that character or the characters for this short film for me. So interesting and truly mind-blowing. Let's move on. So what happens here is this. After the agent developed the skill, it will tell you what it needs. Then it will ask you, do you have your own story? So I said, I have. So this is what I shared. So create a cinematic Afro-anime spy espionage short film with premium high. So this is what it did next. From the story that I shared, the agent went ahead to build a script for me. So as you can see, this is the script he wrote. So as you can see, it's asking me down here to say confirm script. Let's go to production. So I click confirm. So what it will do first of all is this. After I clicked on confirm, it will now go ahead to create those elements I talked about. Let's see what it did. So first of all, as you can see here, it created an element called Zara. So Zara is the main protagonist, right? So this is Zara. Then this is the element for the director. Then I'll show you something about this in a minute. Then it created another element, which is the exterior of the facility. You keep moving all of this, you see all the elements. Now, element corridors, element vaults, element briefcase. But note something, it has not generated any video for us yet. It just created the basic materials it needs to make this project a reality, which is the same way or the same thing I would do if I was doing this the manual way. I will first of all create my character sheets for the key characters. Then if I want the environment to be consistent, I can as well create that same environment. So now, instead of me prompting for all of that every single time, the agent has done the work for me, and to go ahead and start creating those things without me imputing any prompt. Crazy. Now the question is this. What if it creates an element and I don't like it? What do? It's simple. That's why I said this agentic workflow, it's not absolving you of your creative liberty. It's only assisting you. Now, as you can see from here now, if I click this, you see this is the director, which is the antagonist, right? This is a black character. The first one it created for me was a white character, but for the specific Afro-anime story that I want to tell, I felt a black character would do me justice. What I did for the first character it created for this antagonist, I said, make him a dark-skinned character. It went ahead and it corrected that for me. So that's how I got this black guy. One other thing it did, which is very smart, is that it created an audio profile for each of these characters. This is very key. Now let me pause here a little bit to say something. You are creating a film, an AI film, and your character sounds different each time we see her, or each time we see him or her, or your characters. So for me, those are the little things that just puts me off, because at the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves, AI filmmaking is not different from the conventional way of we do film. The methodology may be different, but the art is still the same. And what do I mean? If I was to create a film the traditional way, my actor must sound the same every single time. If I shoot in January and we pause and reshoot in August, and I'm using that same character, the voice will still be the same. So why is it that when you are creating your own AI project, the first 5 seconds that we see your AI character, the voice sounds different. The next 5 seconds, the voice sounds like a Spanish lady. The next time, it sounds like a British lady. I feel those are the things that people see and they say, your project, this is AI slop. So if you learn to pay attention to those little details, it will make your project stand out. And that is one thing that this agentic mode is doing here, which is very good. It has created an audio file for me. Let me play this so you see.
So much for quiet.
Now,
so much for quiet.
This is it.
So much for quiet.
However, note, I think I did this like 3 times. The first one it created for me sounds
So much
I just
for
did not like
quiet.
the vibe. So I had to impute another prompt and ask it to change the voice. So I think I did that like 2 times. And the same thing applies for the
Impressive.
director's
You made it
character.
farther than anyone
When
else.
he created the audio file, what I asked it to do was to change the texture. I think I prompted it to create something that sounds a bit more African. I'm showing all of this just so you see how the agent thinks, how the skill it has created helps it to execute this project. And I did not have to prompt for any of this. It's just simple chat with the agent. So let's move on. So now the agent has created the elements, and we have the female character, we have the director, we also have the audio profile for each of these characters, and then we have the elements for the building or the facility. Now, what's the next thing? After the agent created the first batch of videos for me, of course, there's some result that I was not happy with. So let me show us some few scenes that I was not happy with and how I was able to correct those scenes. So the first shot I wasn't cool with was the establishment shot. So let's see why I wasn't happy with it and how I was able to change it by simply chatting with the agent. Now this is the video. I've muted the sound. This first few seconds is very good, but I don't know if this even made it to the final edit. So the part, I like her coming down the stairs. So this is the part that I wasn't okay with. I like the fact that she touched what looked like a keypad there. But what I was not happy with is this vent. For me, it's not just realistic. I would have preferred a door to be here because you can't have a vent and it has a keypad code for you to unlock it. That for me is not just realistic. If you check what she did next, she touched it and there was a light, it opened and she went in. It may be good, but I just wasn't happy with this output. So what did I do? Simple. Now, if you check here, you have different options here, but this one is like a conversation starter. If I click it, it will automatically add the video into the conversation. So once I have it there, I can then impute my prompt and make the changes I want. So I just brought in my prompt and I imputed it here. What I changed is this. I said, replace the vent with a secure maintenance access door positioned in the same location. As she reaches the platform, she should quickly approach the keypad beside the door, blah, 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 and blah. So just simple instructions. And what it will do for me is this. It will go ahead and regenerate another video. But aside from regenerating another video, it will automatically add it into this same dialog box that we have here. Right? So that's why when you look at this, this is the first video that I did. Now this is the other video it generated. Let's look at the other video. This is the other video. So as you can see, she's coming down and yeah. So instead of that vent, we'll now have a door here, which for me is a bit more realistic. Sometimes when I generate visuals like this, I just don't discard everything, even if it's bad. If you watch the final film, you'll notice most of the shot that I also wasn't okay with it, I still took some few seconds from it and then pieced everything together during editing just to enhance the story a little bit. Because it costs credit to generate all of these things, so why throw it away? So this was another scene that I wasn't so okay with. This is the one that I'm okay with, right? Where the director has like 6 bodyguards or 5 bodyguards behind him. This is the first video he generated for me for that scene. Now, let's play this. The female character just disappeared from that specific spot, and then we have the soldiers coming from each side of the frame. But there's really no definition here, and by definition, what I mean is we're there for her or we're there against her, because in the story, they were supposed to be his bodyguard, not her bodyguard. But right now, it looks a bit confusing. So what did I do? It's simple. Just like how we corrected the first one, I literally did the same thing here. So what I did was to add this back into the conversation, or even if you don't want to add it back into the conversation, you can come down here. I basically instructed the agent that I want the soldiers to be behind the director because they are his bodyguard. So simple instructions like that will help the agent understand what it needs to recreate. So that's what I did. That is how I got this specific scene. So let me show you guys another way you can direct this agentic workflow. For this specific scene, the result is not bad. The fight scene is actually good, but I just did not like how it ended. So I wanted it to extend a little bit beyond that. You can see she defeats this guy and then she was running towards the other person that was there. and that's where the video ended. So I wanted it to extend beyond this. So what did I do? If you come to this top here, on these icons here, you have this specific icon that says export frame. So what this will do for you is that it will export that frame as a still image. Then you can use that still image to convert it into a video, or just tell the agent that I want to pick up this scene from this specific frame, and then the agent will go ahead and do its own thing. What you can do is you just click on export frame and it will export it for you. You can see create frame. So I click create. Somewhere in this my workflow, yeah, I think this is it. So this is the frame I created. This now becomes like my media element, or an element that I can use to recreate another scene. That's pretty much it. Now, let's look at the video and see what we're able to put together using this agentic workflow on Flover AI.
Impressive. You made it farther than anyone else. You were never here to steal the technology. You were the technology we wanted. You have no idea who you've just crossed, and by the time you do, it'll already be too late.
So what do you guys think about this short anime? Is it good? Now, let me just give my own honest feedback. The fact that you can pull this off using just simple conversation, for me, it's mind-blowing. And of course, with much refinement, you get much better results. And if you want to create a full anime story, I see no reason why you can't do that. If you want to try Flover AI, I'll leave the link in the description so you can sign up today. That's it for today. If you find this tutorial insightful, don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. My name is Osasume, and this is the Uhura Creators Academy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.